Alrighty, hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting the war against the grey. Got a hobby hangout, sorry about the bit of delay, had a bit of a technical issues, but we'll get down to hobbying and doing some painting. So, my camera stand's being a bugger already, love it. Oh dear, I love it when the things don't work with technology, don't you? Well. The cord's not liking where it's been told to stretch to. Alright, well, we've got some hobby to get going on, so let's get cracking. Working on my Beastman, same as always today. I've got a couple of Bray Shamans to smash out some washes on, and then I can start probably working on highlighting the Beast Lord. Hey man. Nice to see you here. How are you? Alrighty, let's get some washes happening first. We get the, where did I put the bloody in oil? So, we'll get started on these dudes. Hey Trev, how are you, mate? Just whack some Nun oil on there. Enjoying my last days of being a young'un. Nearly finished an army. Well, it's about time you finish an army, man. You've got just 4 to go for this year, and you'll catch up on me this year. This is army number 5 for the year so far. The Star Priest, nice, man. No, man, I've just been... Lockdown has been good for some things, I guess. I've just powered through the models. Yeah, so smashing out a Beast of Chaos Force now, and this will be... Can't seem to find where I put my goddamn chariots. I got 2 of them and I couldn't find them before. I wanted to get them base coated, but we'll find them later. So I pretty much smashed out the 40 Gores. They're done now. So now we're just waiting on... I'm just doing the characters because they're on the same basis, so then I'll base it all as one. And then I've got some Bulgors and a Gargant and a couple of chariots to go as well. See, it won't be buying like new. It'll be buying more chariots. I already own quite a few of those Scourge Runner chariots. I've run Scourge Privateers for a long time, man. 60 playgrounds and drones and done. Nice. Makes life nice and easy. Just seeing a finished project done makes everything go around. I mean, everything on that shelf, top to bottom, there's another shelf up there, is this year. There's a Zinch army, the goblins. There's a Stormcast army over there, and then there's 2 cities armies up top. And so we're actually running it, and there's a little bit of KO there as well. But yeah, so. So just whack on some brown wash on these 2 shamans, and then we can start getting the Beast Lord like properly done. And you can see the Shaggy there as well. He's all done up. Well, something interesting tomorrow. I get to go back to work finally tomorrow, so it'll be some fun. Actually looking forward to it. Now we're waiting for them. We'll get some colours start to go on the Beast Lord. So I've got the old Great Axe Beast Lord, but he'll still do the job. So, brightening up that red. Yeah, my work's. Yeah, we get to sit down. We're now allowed like 20 people in and out. Like I work for like a sort of a small chain, and so the second store's opening. So now I've got a couple of hours. I mean, it's nothing. It's not much, but to start, it's going to get me out of the house. I think some semblance of normality will be nice. Yeah, see, I missed out on JobKeeper, unfortunately, because I just recently changed jobs, like at the start of the year, so not eligible for JobKeeper, but oh well. I managed to get on that for normal. So, on the plus side, I don't think I'd have made the 1,000 subscribers if I was still working full-time, so every thing has a silver lining, I guess. Managed to sort of push the channel more than I otherwise probably would have. Yeah, I just lost hours completely. Like, we're not the sort of place that takeaway would be feasible from. But it'll be what it'll be. It just starts or something. Your Seraphon are looking mighty fine, man. They're looking nice. I'm liking what I see. Just give me a sec. I'm just going to update any status on the Facebooks. And yeah, so it sucks. It's like a hard place for restaurants because you're going to be stuck. Like, because they're going to be working on skeleton staff, and so your food's going to take longer. Like 35 is like, I don't know where you went, but like that's pushing it. That's pushing like excessively long. Yeah, it just sucks. It's like 35 is getting excessively, but yeah, they're going to be on skeleton staff and they're going to be like rushing around like madmen trying to do the jobs. And all these people, and they're going to have like time limits on seating. It's tough for restaurants at the moment, and yeah, the best you can do is definitely get out there and just support them, because like in Australia we're lucky and most of our restaurants are probably going to survive. But I have friends that are chefs all over the world, and I know like so many of them are not going to have jobs to go back to when this is over. Like this is going to seriously hamper the hospitality industry, like decimate it utterly. So be patient with your local restaurants, give them all the support you can. And like important things, like there's a good one going around today of like, if you're buying a coffee, do not sit down, take your coffee to go take away. And like, I mean, in no form of disrespect, but don't go into a restaurant and don't sit down with your $3 coffee. It's not helping anyone. Yeah, I'm hoping like we... Problem is, it already is in Australia. It already is like a lot of corporate chains that already own the majority of stuff. Like the vast majority of your pubs around the place, especially in like South Australia, are all owned by Woolies. But yeah, as I was saying, like your $3 coffee, don't sit down with your $3 coffee takeaway. If you grab something cheap, you're going for coffee and cake, take that takeaway. And like, no disrespect, like they'll appreciate your meal and they appreciate your ordering, but yeah, that's the thing. Most local pubs are owned by big businesses. Most of them are chains, and most of them are the same chain. Why do you think nearly every pub menu is the same? And like things like, why do you think when like salad bars and all that started disappearing, they all of a sudden disappeared from all of them at the same time? There's very few pubs out there that have salad bars anymore. I mean, and I don't think salad bars. I think we've just seen the death of like things like a salad bar at a restaurant now. It sucks. Local pub near me is like one of the only ones left with like a salad bar, and I don't see it being there when I go back. It sucks. So like a pub like literally 5 minutes from my house. We can walk to our local pub. And so yeah, we're just dry brushing all this fur up. Just getting that done because that's one. Don't want to do too much other stuff while I've still got dry brushing to do. Want to get that out of the way nice and quick. I'll chat to you later about that one day, man. But yeah, I will definitely chat to you about those KO and RNF. That'll be some good stuff. Have a good one, man. Alright, that's his fur dry brush. So let's start. Where we got our administratum out. We'll work on his horns and hooves. So hopefully you should be able to smash out these beastmen by the end of the week. No, where's that? There it is. Greenball brown. This highlights up all our leather. Evening, Wolf Wars. How are we, mate? Hope you're doing well, buddy. What are you up to this week? Hope you've been well, mate. Yeah, Mum. Gauze are finally done, and we are starting work on some of the characters. What have you been working on this week, mate? Oh, Eidolon, nice. Man, as you can see just above, I'm getting some Idness, so I will be very intrigued to see what you do with that, because that is definitely on the shopping list. So if you say you need to stop getting more, I've just gone and got a ton more things. Just went and got a KO Force, Eldar, and Idneth. Bunch of all of it. So, can't help myself. It's gonna be a sec. Just gotta find something. Oh, that was like a sound. Sorry, need to find my paint rag. Dry brush. So I managed to pick up a Star Collecting plus the King for the Idneth. I picked up a ton of KO, just a bunch of KO, and a lot of Eldar. So that's what I'm getting next, and then obviously at the moment I'm just waiting to see for the goddamn Lumineth to come out, but they'll be out when they're out. So now we're going to use XV88. So we're just getting some XV88 ready, and we'll just dry brush this little bit of wood that's on him. So now we need to start picking out some gold bits. Yeah, I'm going all in on those Lumineth. I cannot wait to get to paint some of them. So now we're just adding a little bit of gold detail to him. Got to invest in a better camera. My lighting setup has not been kind to me today. It just would not, no matter what I did, would not set up well. So I've just gone for a face shot of me talking and hobbying. So we'll see how this goes. Got to work something better than what's happening at the moment. Oh. Bright. Some fine highlights on that red. got a little bit of metals to pick out that I didn't pick out before because they're inside of all the things. And that's the dead lead bircher, so that can go down in the bin. Keep putting that back on my desk. Maybe that wasn't the dead one. Is that not the dead one and it's just gone to crap? No, that is definitely the dead one. Remember the stain from the wash on it. Maybe just use more lead bircher than I thought I had. Oh, there we go. This dude's got lots of little studs on his armour that I've got to pick out. Definitely think my next painting projects to sort of split up after these Beasts of Chaos are all done. It's definitely probably some Lord of the Rings or 40k. Something to break up this amount of AOS I've done. Maybe even my Blood Bowl team, just a slight change of pace. So the KO I've already done the test models for. I'm doing Barracks on. I really like the colour scheme. And Idoneth, I'm likely going to do Futhan as my colour scheme, just because I really like the Futhan colour scheme. There's nothing too fantastic with them, but I like the colour schemes that GW provided, so. So that'll be my plan for Idoneth, is definitely just doing the Futhan colour scheme. Making sure I'm highlighting all the bits for this, and I'll get some Stormhost Silver and go over the highlights on the axe. We really want this axe to be nice and shiny on its tips. It's such a big part of the model. Where has my Stormhost Silver gone? I always love when I can't find the goddamn paint. I swear I had it on my desk, but it must not. No, there it is. Oh, nice. I really like the sound of that. Underwater forest. I really like that, man. I like that a lot. I mean, I'm a big Wood Elf fan, so you're doing Wood Elf slight conversions, so you're going to win me over. Alrighty. Now we got the funnest bit. The red dots for the eyes. We shaved the bone on the teeth. Oh, what answers? I've got 20 sitting there that need paint. They will be getting painted sometime soon. I played Wood Elves for a long time. They were actually the first models I bought, but not the first army. And then when they got their 2006 release, I picked up a giant army on that release. So picked up these Bulgors second hand and got me a Chaos Gargant to go on the force as well. So we might get him base coated now, just so I can put a wash on him and I can start working on him after. So we just need our base coat of Thunderhawk Blue is what we're using for the base coat for the skin. And then once we've got him painted, we might do the flesh up on the Bulgors. By the time I've done that, I should be able to wash this dude. He's going to need a couple of coats because only downside with this is Thunderhawk Blue is a layer paint, so doesn't necessarily have the best coverage in the world. Yeah, I picked up the vast majority, in fact all these Beastmen second hand, so but nice and cheap and they'll do well for the channel. Can't wait to get my hands on one of those big Gargants. They're going to be just so much fun to paint. definitely grabbing some Sons of Bahamut. Sons of Bahamut, that's the Gargant army coming out, Daniel. If you're just joining. And welcome, mate. Hope you're doing well. This is actually for a Beast of Chaos army, this one here. But I do have Gargants that will be getting ready for Sons of Bahamut. That would be... Oh, I've moved him. He's in the cupboard somewhere. I've got other Gargants. This one, though, is for a Beast of Chaos Force. I'll definitely be doing the full army of Sons of Bahamut, though. So that'll definitely be something that's getting worked on. But yeah, this dude's for a Beast of Chaos Force. If you're in the chat and joining us, let us know what you guys are working on. Just bloody had that. Where did I put it? I hate when it down there. When you have something and you put it down and it's not where you thought you put it. Don't forget, guys, if you're coming on and watching the stream, definitely leave a like. All of those help immensely in people finding the stream. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. All that stuff helps the channel grow more and more. So we'll leave him there for now. He'll need a second coat in a bit. But we'll start layering up these Bulgors. Finishing off a Beast of Chaos Force. So this is the planned scheme that we're going for, the Dark Walkers. That's really not showing up very well. It's got like a bright red contrast. I might post some pictures up after having camera and lighting issues today. So we'll sort that out over the week. Annoying, but yeah, it is what it is. So need some rust grey. Oh, Chris Rocks. Working on some Iron Drakes, man. Nice. Iron Drakes are great. I've got some that need to get done. I mean, I got most things that need to get done. I say that a lot about a lot of things, but it's the truth. But yeah, nice. Iron Drakes. Cities, into a growing cities collection. What city are you planning on doing? I love my cities. I've got 2. You can sort of see the handgunners just at the top of the screen there. Should be. Have any idea how hard it is to point on a stream behind you? It is not easy. But yeah, I've got a cities force there. I love my cities. So now we're just layering up all this muscle on the back of the bulldozers. So here's a question for anyone who's watching in chat. What are you looking forward to with the General's Handbook? General's Handbook. Hit me with what you guys are looking forward to. I've actually got a video that I should be popping up on the channel very shortly with like some... I did a guest video for like the Lumineth, and it was like a lot of fun, and I actually did a reaction video to my guesses after we got all the information, and boy howdy was I so wrong. But I think I've got a video where I'm doing the same coming out soon for the General's Handbook. I've made some bold predictions, so that should be up after this stream, so later tonight. But anyway, what are some things you would like to see in the General's Handbook? And sort the rules for my city for each individual game, depending on what I'm in the mood for. Yeah, and I think that's the great thing about cities. I was saying to someone, I'm like, cities is currently the best army to play, and it's probably the most overall strong army in the entire game because it has all the choices to react to whatever the meta becomes. Like, no other army has that many good choices. That's the serious thing. Like, Stormcasting has that many options. Probably Skaven is the only army on par with cities being able to do, and even then, Skaven can't do some things that cities can do. So, yeah. I think cities is a great army just because you can always react to how the meta is changing. I mean, I think the main reason we don't see cities like doing so well is because you've got a lot of sort of purists from the old factions that were rounded up into cities. So you have many people who only play dwarves, only play wood elves, only play dark elves, only play Phoenix Temple, or only play like the singular factions and don't mix and match like cities is supposed to be done. Or like the best way to run cities is taking the best bits of all the different parts of it. Would love to see some points changes for the Squig side of Git. Also possibly some changes to see. Yeah. And I think the Squigs definitely agree with, and I think cities definitely some points changes could be done. Definitely think there's some things that can be changed points-wise in cities. But I think nearly everything in cities can be changed and can be fixed with points. I don't think there's anything inherently bad, like any unit that is so utterly bad that points couldn't fix it. Like, I don't know a unit in there. And like, I'm even talking like even things like Dark Riders. If all of a sudden Battle Shock became a way to like win games, Dark Riders would be an amazing choice in the army. In fact, I have a list that like makes use of like Battle Shock and all that sort of stuff that I want to run. I want to see how it can do. But I know the only issue with it is as soon as it runs into OBR, it's dead. I don't think Phoenix Guard need to go. I've been swayed on this one. I don't want Phoenix Guard to go up in points, but I want them to lose their horde discount. I think that is the fix. Feel free, guys. I don't know if you guys are in there, but we have a Discord server, and you can feel free to share your stuff in the Discord server if you guys want to share your work with each other. If you want, I'll throw a link in the chat. But yeah, for me, I put a video out a little while ago, like talking about meeting engagements. I really want to see them look at and refine meeting engagements. I think the idea of it was fantastic. Execution was absolutely terrible. But the idea of trying to make 1,000-point games something worth playing and like changing it up, making it different to a normal game was interesting, and I think something cool. It just, was not done very well. I think it's fair to say. All right, these are taking longer than I thought. There's a shit ton of muscle on these bulgur. Need to get laid. But yeah. I don't know, yeah. I'd really like to see some updates to meeting engagements, and let's have a look and see how far we can go with that sort of system. Let's see if we can make it better than what it was. The idea is good, the execution was just terrible. I'll be interesting to see what 40k is. So initially, from their initial talk of it, I thought it was just like fancy Path to Glory. However, it sounds very much like the campaign system from Warcry is. Oh, thanks, Daniel. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I plan to expand upon that idea of start collecting. I think. So a little bit about me. I'm the guy in my local area that organizes everything, generally gets new players in the game. That's what I do. I find new players, I teach them the game, and I bring them in, and they eventually join our group. No worries, Daniel. But yeah, so to say the rest of that point, I plan to do a lot more like beginner friendly stuff on the channel. or like at least beginner helper stuff, understanding armies on a basic level, and not necessarily stuff that's competitive. Like I think there's so many channels that do competitive focus, and like this unit's good, that unit's good, and I definitely play competitive to an extent, but I'm a very heavily narrative and just fun, open play sort of narrative gamer at heart. So I think that's definitely where I want to push the channel. We've got some cool battle reports we're looking on organising. Using a lot more sort of narrative focus on the battle reports, playing some fun and interesting games. But anyway, to go back on, I'm really interested in Crusade a lot. I'm actually interested to like go give 40k a try. A new edition's a great way to get back into a game. I've played 40k before. I wasn't a big fan of the last edition. Just didn't do it for me for a bunch of different reasons, and not all to do with the game itself. But I think take a look at it, and definitely if it's something worth looking at, I think it'll be something. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it is and see if it's something worth porting over. Because like Path to Glory is there, but Path to Glory is not perfect in any way. But I've never had issues when I play Path to Glory with the right people, and people understand the idea of what we're trying to do, what you're trying to do with Path to Glory. But yeah, I'll be interested to see. The reason why we're smashing out so many armies on these hobby hangouts is because we're getting ready for battle reports and stuff like that on the channel. So, the reason why I've been chucking out and there's a purpose behind all the videos and like why we're doing faction specific videos and stuff like that, because we're testing the waters to see what's popular. Armies that are popular will likely get more content than armies that aren't. If you've got a Start Collecting KO and a 10 Things I'd Like to See KO video, if both of those are doing well, then we're going to work on getting a KO force on the table nice and quick. Actually, a reason why I'm doing Beast of Chaos now, because Beast of Chaos have been quite popular in all the videos I've done. Been consistently popular. Soren, well, I hope you're okay, buddy, and you're feeling well. So, good morning. Make sure you keep yourself nice and hydrated and all that, as some would say. But, oh well. Kicked out of work, go work on Lady Linda. Sounds like a good day. I get to go back to work tomorrow, which is nice. My restaurant's opened up somewhat, so... well, that's good. You know how it is. People say fever at the moment, and you always get worried for someone who says fever at the moment. But yeah, so was talking to everyone about how like what we'd like to see for GHB, and also talking like Crusade and how people feel about Crusade and what that might have for 40k. I managed to pick out, speaking of 40k, I managed to pick up a rather large Eldar force. Some of it needs a bit of love, But there's definitely some good stuff in there, and I can't wait to paint that Eldar force because Eldar were my first 40k army, so I really want to do them justice. I was a terrible, terrible person hobby-wise back then and did not paint my minis at all, or if I tried, I got frustrated way too easy and didn't improve, just gave up. So I really want to do an Eldar force that's going to look good on the tabletop. Yeah, that's fair enough. Like, that's fair enough, man. Like, you understand all that stuff at the moment. Definitely too. I don't know what we'll see, Chris. Like, battle plans is an interesting one because I think I like the fact they changed them every year, like even slightly, because it keeps the game interesting. I think the best way forward is to pick the best ones. Like, some variations of 2019, I think, were worse than the 2018 versions. Like, I think Focal Points was much better in 2018 than it was in 2019. I like having to control diagonals rather than up down. I think that was definitely a better scenario. And there's like heaps of like things like that where 2019 is better in some and 2018 is better in some. So I think the best thing you do from that is you pick your best 18 and you make a set list of the 18 and maybe add another 6, a brand new 6. I think battle plans will never be more battle plans is always good. I would like to see victory conditions played around with more. And how scoring works more. Like changing up how scoring works more and more. I think you've got a lot of room with battle plans to make something cool, but I don't know how they'll go. And we know the GHB has been shipped. They were like shipping things for the GHB, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that pretty early July. Yeah, total commitment's interesting, I think. Yeah, I think the thing with total commitment, I think if it was to stop no units maybe set up during the game, period, would be much better. Like, then it's crippling a lot of things. And like, that's fine when you're crippling, like it cripples so much of that, and that's fine. If you're going to harm something, harm a lot and harm the vast majority. And then it being in a player's pack, you plan for having to, okay, how does my army fight when all my movement shenanigans go kaput? But it shouldn't just affect like 2 armies. I do wonder with total commitment because I'm pretty sure that was brought out the year Nighthaunt and Stormcast were brought out, right? So was that scenario purely written for the fact that Nighthaunt and Stormcast were in the starter box, and it, was done that way so that it's a scenario between the two where you put everything on the tabletop because they're the two most common armies, or what you expect to be the two for people playing to start with. It's just an interesting thought on Total Commitment I had. Yeah, I wouldn't mind random conditions roll before a game, Chris. Like, I think I don't really mind that. I think my big thing is always making sure things stay simple, so it's not a steep learning curve. You can always add more things as optional rules to be added on, but make sure those core things stay simple. It's the great thing about AOS that teaching someone AOS, the game is so simple. So simple on its base level. Like, there's a lot of technical nous needed to play like high-end AOS, but I think the base level AOS is so fun and easy to learn. And these Minotaurs are going to look nice in this color scheme. While we're getting more paint out of pot, I might just get the second coat of Thunderhawk Blue on the Gargant. So having to do 2 coats on the Gargant because the base color I'm using, Thunderhawk Blue, is a layer paint, so just needs a second coating to sort of get that coverage nice and strong. I wouldn't mind there being, like, I love objective-based art and, like, completely agree, but I wouldn't mind if there was a scenario where kill points was a thing. I remember in 40k, like, it was like a nice change to have that scenario where killing things is a thing. It actually did make for a nice change. But, like, not necessarily saying killing things, like, I don't know whether it'd be any good in AOS, but I think we're not going to get scenarios like that in AOS because it's already the tiebreaker in AOS anyway. So that doesn't really matter. But I think I just want to see like different things done with the scenarios. Give us some alternate victory conditions that aren't because you're winning, you win more. But that's the worst sort of secondary you can make, is a secondary that rewards you for winning. Like kill an opponent's monster. Well, you've probably killed an opponent's monster if you're winning. So it's not like they sound all really good when you're the person losing, so you go kill a monster. However, they're really bad in the fact that you're already winning, so killing a monster isn't a hard thing for the person already winning, so you end up winning by the same. It changes nothing in the scoring. You want objectives that are really hard, secondaries that are actually rather hard to complete, so that the person losing can deny them, and the person like the person losing can deny them as well as trying to go for it to make the score smaller. Definitely something I'd like to see in AOS. Pardon me. Let me see. Get that coffee in me. It's a good thing I like cold coffee. Anyway, something I'd really like to see put into it is looking at meeting engagement. I really like the idea of like how you had to score a certain amount of victory points more to actually get the major. You know, what is it in meeting engagements? Generally, it's you have to win by 5 or more victory points to get a major, which is just like a cool little thing to put more in the game. Like meaning you need to try, like you can't just hold on in games. You need to push for those extra points and take the risk to try and get the major, which would actually be really interesting. I think that would be a really cool sort of thing to pop in. Bam. Honestly, at this point though, I don't really even care about the. I don't. I'm more interested in just finally being able to play some games. I think that is the number one thing I just want to do. Play games. That'd be a really cool thing. So like maybe a new variation of escalation, because I really like escalation as a scenario. I think it's a fantastic scenario. I actually really like that as an idea, Soren. Like that'd be a cool like change to escalation on like actually having to bring stuff into waves. It's like the polar opposite of total commitment, actually. Pushing the buttons at the other end. No, yeah, I think that's definitely a really cool idea for a different sort of scenario. Oops. But yeah, you actually got me thinking. I was saying to the other people as well in the chat, Soren, that I'm definitely yeah, excited for GHB. I'll be putting together a small short video on like some my guesses again, because that was fun last time, and owning up to my my terrible Lumineth predictions. Yeah, it'd be interesting to like that sort of stuff, because obviously all the allegiance abilities are gone. So I had a thought. So what if they use the GHB to write new beta faction rules for older armies like Doc, Ideneth, Nurgle, and Legion Nagash? So we get updated rules for those four, like updated allegiance abilities for those four factions in there, much like they have been doing with 40k. So what if they put the oldest allegiances, they update all the old allegiances to make these new ones, and yeah. That was my interesting thought. Just a thought on like what the GHP might have. Now I'm probably gonna have to jump off stream soon. And my first day back at work tomorrow, and I have an early morning now, so that'll be a change. But I'll be back on live for on Friday night on my birthday. I'll come spend my birthday with all you lovely fellows and ladies. So that'll be a bit of fun. That'd be interesting. Like if that'd be really cool, I think, Zoran. But I'm gonna have to love and leave you, man. It's getting a bit late, and I need to go get ready for bed. So thank you to everyone for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And definitely a special thank you to all the people who support the channel on Patreon. That's growing and growing now, which is awesome. So thank you to everyone who supports on Patreon. I will see you all again real soon. I'll chuck links in the description for the Discord and the Patreon as well, that you can support the channel. But that's all from me. Ciao for now, guys.